In your national headlines this morning, it's a race against time in western Pennsylvania. That's where rescuers are working inside a sinkhole, trying to locate a grandmother who they believe was just in the wrong place at precisely the wrong time. Here's ABC's Rhiannon Alley with more.
Overnight, rescue crews searching underground near Pittsburgh for a woman who's believed to have fallen into a 30-foot deep sinkhole.
It's dark, it's getting late. There's zero stopping in any of the rescue efforts.
Elizabeth Pollard and her 5-year-old granddaughter were reported missing Monday night after going out to search for Pollard's cat. Police eventually finding the little girl safe in Pollard's car, but no sign of her grandmother, just the sinkhole nearby.
That hole wasn't there until sometime yesterday, most likely, unfortunately, when she was standing over it.
Officials who arrived say they nearly fell into the same hole, which is connected to an old coal mine, the clay-like soil making it hard to dig. Crews carefully stabilized the hole, lowering cameras down, which only spotted what appeared to be a shoe.
The ceiling, it looks like, is pretty high once you get down into the mine to the point where it almost looks like a human being could traverse and walk it.
As many as 100 people joining the rescue effort. Pollard's family hoping for a miracle.
We appreciate everybody's support in this time right now. All we're really doing is hoping for the best.
It's been a whirlwind, and I can only, my heart bleeds for the family and the community around here, and hopefully she's in an air pocket, and that's what we're hoping for.
Officials say oxygen levels in the hole are good and temperatures are warmer than above ground. Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
Joe Biden has still not answered questions tonight about the unprecedented pardon of his son, Hunter Biden, on Capitol Hill. Even some Democratic lawmakers expressed surprise by the president's decision.
Disappointed in terms of the signal it sends to faith in our American system. And I'll leave it at that.
Political experts describe Hunter Biden's full and unconditional pardon, covering a 10-year period, as unusually broad in scope.
In just a few hours, the Supreme Court will hear arguments about transgender rights.
It's over a Tennessee law that bans gender-affirming care for minors. Eyewitness News reporter Jaysha Patel joins us in studio with those details. Jaysha.
John, Rachel, Tennessee and 25 other states have passed bans on some gender-affirming medical treatments for minors. The Supreme Court is asked to decide whether those bans are constitutional. The court will consider whether the Tennessee law that bars things like puberty blockers and hormone therapy for transgender minors discriminates on the basis of sex. Some medical organizations have endorsed the use of puberty blockers, hormone therapy, and in some cases surgeries, but other medical groups and conservative lawmakers say these treatments are inappropriate and dangerous. LGBTQ advocates claim the law violates the 14th Amendment's Equal Protection Clause and overrides parental authority. And the outcome of the case could have a sweeping impact on health care for the more than 300,000 American teens who identify as transgender. Meanwhile, here in California, leaders are trying to protect access to procedures for transgender people. Doctors who provide gender-affirming care in California are legally protected from laws criminalizing it in other states. Now, some experts have said that gender-affirming care could be threatened by federal action as President-elect Donald Trump is set to become president again. Trump has said he plans to ask Congress to stop federal taxpayer dollars from being used to promote or pay for these types of procedures. Now, today will also mark the first time an openly trans litigator will argue a case before the Supreme Court. A decision is not expected for several months, and the ruling could possibly affect other laws and efforts to regulate things like sports competitions involving transgender people or which bathrooms they even use.
South Korea's opposition parties have this afternoon submitted a motion to impeach President Yoon Suk-yeol. Now, he is facing pressure to leave office hours after he declared martial law late last night, a move that stunned and bewildered the vast majority of South Koreans, and it is viewed here as an arcane throwback to a more turbulent period in the country's history before South Korea became a fully functioning democracy in the late 1980s. Many of the protesters at this demonstration in Seoul weren't even born the last time that martial law was enacted. Now, President Yoon was forced to rescind the declaration very early this morning, 6 hours after that declaration was actually announced, after the lawmakers defied armed forces who had surrounded the National Assembly building here. Some of those lawmakers scaled walls to gain entry. Another pushed away the barrel of a rifle which had been pointed at her chest by a soldier. In an extraordinary late-night sitting, 190 Assembly members who managed to gain entry to the building voted down the declaration unanimously. Now, the presidential impeachment vote could come as early as Friday and will require 200 of the 300 lawmakers to pass. South Korea is no stranger to mass street protests and swift presidential impeachments. As one analyst told the AP, Yoon's short-lived martial law declaration may have killed his chances of fully completing his presidential term.
The use of technology in medical science is not new. However, a hospital in China is all set to break barriers. A Chinese startup incubated at the prestigious Tsinghua University is testing the world's first virtual hospital. Called Agent Hospital, the platform features 14 AI doctors and 4 nurses. It covers 21 departments like the emergency ward, respiratory ward, pediatrics, and cardiology. Designed to simulate real-world medical practice, the virtual hospital will aim to improve patient outcomes and offer a risk-free training environment for medical students. In other words, the platform allows medical students to confidently design treatment plans while trying to eliminate decision-making errors. More than 500,000 AI patients from different regions, age groups, and illnesses have been developed to test the platform. Meanwhile, the developer has invited the public and medical professionals to test the system as make-believe patients. The Tsinghua University is planning human tests in the first quarter of 2025.
The U.S. Air Force says unidentified drones have been spotted over 4 joint U.S. and U.K. military bases in England. The mysterious drones have repeatedly appeared for over a week now. Stephanie Bennett is live in London. So, Stephanie, this is pretty disturbing. What do we know about these drones?
Yeah, that's exactly right, Julie. I mean, the details are still very limited at this time. We do know that the sightings started last week on November 20th, and they have really ranged in size, in style, and also the amount that we've been seeing over that last week or so. Now, a senior British official confirmed to Fox that the UK has deployed about 60 troops, including counter-drone specialists, to help determine who is behind this and to help defend the air bases amid fears it's a potential coordinated operation. They're describing the incidents as unusual and say this is a serious set of circumstances. Take a look at this map. The bases are spread across England and are all used by U.S. Air Force. Now, the drones have been seen over RAF Fairford, Lakenheath, Mildenhall, and Feltwell. For now, civilian police, supported by the UK Ministry of Defence, have launched an investigation. And so far, we're told there has been no impact to residents or infrastructure, and they have not been identified as hostile. Well, a Ministry of Defense spokesperson said we take threats seriously and maintain robust measures at defense sites, but as of right now, it has not had any significant mission impact. At a Pentagon briefing, Fox's chief national security correspondent Jennifer Griffin asked whether the drones appear to be those of hobbyists or something more sinister and concerning.
Again, it would be, premature to draw any conclusions. We've got to see what these are. I mean, it's entirely possible that it could be hobbyists or something else. We just got to look into it. So.
Yeah, and for now, the U.S. Air Force says the investigation, of course, is still ongoing. And right now, all eyes are on the skies. Julie.
All right. Thank you very much.